The advice that I currently have from Ofcom and the Office of Fair Trading is that I should allow this deal to go ahead. But obviously in the last week we have had some horrific revelations that I think have shocked everyone. And so what I'm doing today is I'm writing back to them and saying, do you still stand behind the advice that you gave me before, that this deal should be allowed to go ahead? Or are there some new facts that have emerged in the last week that would cause you to change that advice?
Isn't that the crucial word, facts? Because Ofcom made very, very clear in its letter to John Whittingdale last week that they cannot and should not act while these allegations are unsubstantiated. And actually, there's a lot more allegation at the moment than absolute fact.
Well, there are a lot of allegations around, but there are also some facts that have become public that we didn't know about before, that have been conceded by News Corporation.
Such as?
Well, I mean, there's information that has become clear about the authorisation of payments for out-of-court settlements, for example. And I don't want to make a judgment about whether those are relevant or not to this media merger, this very important media merger, before taking independent advice. So what I'm doing today is I've written to Ofcom, who are the expert independent regulator, and the Office of Fair Trading, and said, on the basis of what you now know has happened, because these things weren't in the public domain, does that cause you to reconsider what you advised me previously?
Your critics will say that you're stepping outside of your quasi-judicial role and you're looking for a political way out.
Not at all. I mean, what I'm actually doing, because this is a quasi-judicial role, I have to follow a very strict legal process. What I'm doing is trying to give the public confidence that I'm doing this objectively, fairly and impartially. And so I don't have to ask for this independent advice, but I'm doing so that people can see the basis on which I make the decision that I'm going to make. And I think that's why it's the right thing to do.
Are you asking for this advice because you yourself now have doubts about whether or not News Corp is a fit and proper organisation to take over BSkyB?
Well, I think, you know, you wouldn't be human if you weren't totally appalled with some of the revelations that have come to light. I mean, they're just stomach-churning, and I think everyone feels totally shaken, really, because British journalism has such fine traditions, and to see this kind of scraping of the barrel is totally appalling. The question is whether there are things there that are relevant to the decision that I have to take, which is a merger decision, and what I have to look at is concentration of media ownership, and that's what I want to seek independent advice on.